action. Okay, I have you here today because either you all have asthma or you have a family member that has asthma, and I want to talk to you today about the Asthma Action Plan. And this plan has been devised mainly because it can improve the quality of the life of an asthmatic. It'll decrease the amount of times they have to go to the hospital. It'll decrease the amount of times they're at the doctor's office. And it'll also allow them to participate in normal activities, even if that's sports or even singing, whatever they're playing an instrument, whatever their normal activities are, it allows them to function during those normal activities. Now, most asthmatics know what their triggers are, and so they know what to avoid. For some people that might be dust, for some people it may be cats, it may be food allergies, peanuts, it can be dogs, it can be pollens in the air. So most people know what their triggers are. Even extreme cold air can be a trigger for an asthmatic. So most asthmatics know what those triggers are and are encouraged to stay away from those triggers so that they don't get an asthma attack. So on the Asthma Action Plan, you have a format that's very much like a stop sign, or a stop light rather. You have your green, your yellow, and your red. In your green zone, you should have what we call your controller medications. So your doctor will have prescribed something maybe like your Simulator that you should be taking at bedtime. Or you may be on Flonase if you have some allergy type symptoms along with your asthma to decrease some of the swelling in your nares or in your nostrils. So, and you also may take Advair, which is a combination medication that's going to help keep the air pockets without inflammation so that oxygen can flow freely through there. So those medications you should take every day, no matter what. No matter how you feel, even if you're feeling great, you should still take those medications. Now, one medication that will be written here that you can take 10 to 20 minutes before exercise is going to be your albuterol inhaler. And that's what's considered an emergency medication. So if you're using that inhaler more than twice a day, then you need to call your doctor so that your medicines can be changed so that you're not having to use that so frequently. But it is here for exercise because some asthmatics will have an asthma attack after strenuous activity. So about 10 to 15 minutes before exercise, they recommend that they use 1 to 2 puffs of their albuterol inhaler before participating in exercise. Now here at the top of this plan, they'll have what's called your personal best peak flow. And at the top there, when you go to your primary doctor, they're going to obtain that personal peak flow number for you. They're going to give you a little meter, and you will blow in it like you're blowing out through a straw. And that's going to give them a number, a range there. They'll take that range and they'll put it in this blank. And then they'll go through on your green zone, on your yellow zone, and on your red zone. They'll determine what your ranges should be for each of those zones. So if you, for some reason, wake up one morning, you've been coughing a lot during the night, you're not breathing as well, and you decide to, well, let me just see what my peak flow is. Then if you take your peak flow and you're still in that green zone, then you just continue your regular medications. But let's say I take my peak flow that day and I'm in the yellow zone. Then if I look over here, my doctor will have written in exactly what I should do if I'm in that yellow zone. Usually I'm going to continue all the medicines that I take in my green zone, but the doctor will have added an additional medication, and usually it's a steroid, some type of prednisone, that you'll take if you're in that yellow zone. You take that steroid and you call the doctor's office and let them know that you have started that medication, and they'll set up an appointment for you to follow up, usually in a day or two, just so they can be sure that that asthma is resolving and that you are getting better and don't need further treatment than just those steroids. Now, if you wake up and you're not feeling well, or any time during your day, say you've come in contact with a trigger, with one of your triggers. You come in contact with a cat, you're having a hard time breathing, you've gotten some hives, then you say, well, I'm going to take my peak flow and see where I am. And you take your peak flow and you're in the red zone. Then at that point there's going to be medicines there that you can take, but red means you've definitely got to call the doctor's office, and usually that means you're going to end up at the hospital or at the doctor's office first, so they can decide whether you need to be hospitalized or not. But this plan has been proven to be effective. If you use it, just like any tool, you really have to use it in order for it to be effective. But if you use it, it will increase the quality of life for you if you're the asthmatic or for your family member. Any questions from anyone? Well, thank you very much.